Once upon a time, Leo believed life was simple. Study hard, graduate, make his parents proud. Leo raced down the steps, a stack of books in his arms, filled with hope. He was just 18, full of dreams for the future. His parents, always by his side, encouraging him. They laughed together, sharing a warm embrace, a perfect moment, a family full of love. And then at a small birthday party, they gifted him something simple, a camera. Leo's eyes shined, dreaming big. But then, one rainy night, everything changed. Flashing red and blue lights, two police officers standing at his door, somber faces. The words that followed would haunt him forever. His parents, gone in a tragic accident. Leo dropped to his knees, crying out into the darkness. The world, once so bright, had turned cold. Days passed. Leo struggled, paying bills, studying by candlelight, working long hours at a grimy diner, falling asleep in class during the day. One night, Leo was delivering food in a heavy rainstorm. He slipped on wet steps, all the trays crashing to the ground. His arm injured badly. In the hospital, he sat alone, bills piling up. A letter from school arrived. Due to prolonged absence and unpaid fees, you are hereby expelled. Without family, without a diploma. Leo was left with nothing but broken dreams. Years passed, and Leo grew older. He wore a cheap white shirt, walking into a cold corporate building for his first day as a junior office assistant. Everything felt gray, mechanical. The other workers barely glanced at him. His desk was tiny, crammed in the corner by the copier. His nameplate, forgotten. Leo, junior assistant. He sat at his desk, silent. He opened a drawer. Inside, he kept the old camera his parents gave him, the only reminder of who he used to be. A single tear fell on the dusty lens. But life wasn't done with Leo yet. Gray morning. Office lights flicker. Leo walks into work, his eyes tired but his spirit still determined. Even after everything, Leo still believed if he worked hard enough, maybe, just maybe, he could find his way back to the light. Days blurred into each other as Leo was bullied at work, as colleagues asking him to do their work, fixing the copier late at night, cleaning up spilled coffee no one else wanted to touch. Then came Mr. Barkley, the fat cat businessman type. Loud, uncaring, constantly yelling at employees over tiny mistakes. Leo carefully brought him his coffee, made exactly right. Mr. Barkley barely grunted in response. In a world ruled by greed and pride, kindness was invisible. One day, the unthinkable happened. An important file went missing. Panic spread through the office like wildfire. Mr. Barkley stormed out, his face red with anger. He demanded someone take the blame. Of course, Leo, the lowest in the office, was called into the boardroom. Inside the boardroom, Leo sat across from Mr. Barkley and several senior staff members, a big, heavy table between them. Mr. Barkley slammed his fist down. "You lost the Henderson file. You're careless, boy, irresponsible. We can't afford dead weight." Leo tried to explain, trembling. I wasn't even assigned to that project, sir. Please, check the logs. It wasn't me." But Mr. Barkley just mocked him. Excuses, always excuses from the useless ones. And just like that, even though Leo was innocent, they fired him on the spot. No severance, no apology. They threw a small cardboard box at him for his things. When the world wants to break you, it doesn't whisper, it roars. Leo walked out of the office building carrying his tiny box of belongings. Papers flew in the wind. People watched, but said nothing. Cold, judgmental stares. Leo walked through the rain, his suit soaked, tears mixed with raindrops. He sat alone on a park bench, shivering. He opened the box, and inside, the camera from his parents. He clutched it to his chest. When you lose everything, you find yourself standing naked before destiny. When you have nothing left to lose, that's when you find out what truly matters. Flashbacks flooded his mind, warm memories of his parents, their laughter, and the love they shared. He lowered the camera, breathing shakily. Maybe this is all I have left, Leo whispered to himself. But maybe it's enough. The next day, Leo woke up early, but he took the camera and wandered the city. He snapped a photo of a stray kitten curled in a box, an old couple holding hands under an umbrella, a child laughing as pigeons flew. Every click of the shutter brought a tiny spark back to Leo's eyes. At first, people ignored him, but then a kind old lady noticed. "That's a beautiful camera you have there, dear. Are you a photographer?" Leo hesitated. He almost shook his head. But then he remembered his parents' smiles. Maybe I am," he said, softly, almost uncertain. The old lady smiled warmly. "They're looking for someone to capture the spirit of the community. You should go. Tell them Mrs. Green sent you." Leo's eyes widened. The first time in ages he felt wanted somewhere. Sometimes the world doesn't hand you a door. Sometimes it whispers about one, and you have to find the courage to knock. Leo practiced taking more photos. He watched free YouTube tutorials late into the night at the library. Leo, more confident now, clicked photos around the city. Children playing in the park, elderly couples walking hand in hand, a stray dog sleeping in the sun. The city felt more alive to him now. Leo interacted with people in the community, his camera becoming a bridge. He was no longer an outsider. He was capturing their stories, and in doing so, he was rediscovering his own. The old camera, once a painful reminder of loss, now represented a second chance. Leo stood at a busy street corner, his camera in hand. The camera clicked as he captured a group of children running past, laughing. A warm smile crossed his face. He wasn't weighed down by his past anymore. He was free. He was fulfilled. Then he looked down at his parents' old camera. "For you, Mom and Dad." "For me," he whispered. The weekend arrived, and with it, the fair. A bright, sunny afternoon. The air was filled with laughter, music, and the sweet scent of cotton candy. Leo stood at the entrance, camera in hand, nervous but excited. This time, the weight of the camera felt different. It wasn't just a memory of what he'd lost. It was the key to everything he might still become. Across the field, Mrs. Green waved at him. Her smile was warm, steady, a quiet push forward. She pointed him toward a small booth where the organizers waited. Leo took a deep breath and stepped forward. A volunteer greeted him with a grin. "Capture moments that represent the spirit of the community," they said. "Our theme this year is unity in diversity." So, he did. A family, laughing through a three-legged race. A child hugging a giant teddy bear, cheeks flushed with joy. Teenagers at a booth, each one bringing something different, something real. With every photo, Leo felt more connected. He wasn't just watching anymore. He was part of it, a heartbeat in a larger story. Later that day, he returned to the booth, hands trembling, photos printed and stacked. The volunteers flipped through them, eyes widening, smiles growing. "These are incredible," one said, almost in awe. "You really have a gift for this, Leo. You should think about doing this professionally." Leo said nothing at first, but inside something shifted. For the first time in a long while, he felt seen. He felt proud, and as the fair carried on behind him, he knew this was only the beginning. A new day, a new beginning. Leo walked the city streets, camera slung gently around his neck. Quietly, consistently, he began to see life through a different lens. Not just moments, but meaning. A busker singing under a bridge, his voice echoing with hope and hurt. A father kneeling playing with his daughter, hands gentle, eyes full of love. A nurse, weary but strong, sipping coffee at dawn. Leo didn't just take photos anymore. He captured stories, real ones, raw ones, the kind that linger. Then, an unexpected spark, one of his photos shared online by a local blogger. No name, just unknown photographer. But the image spoke for itself. Comments poured in. "This photo made me cry. Who took this? It feels so real." Leo stared at the screen, stunned, until one afternoon in the park, a stranger approached them. "Did you take that photo of the old man feeding the birds? That was beautiful. Thank you." Leo didn't know what to say, but something warm, something powerful, rose in his chest. Not long after, an invitation, a local charity art exhibit. They wanted his work, his name, his story. For the first time, he would be seen, not just as a person, but as an artist. With his camera in his hands, he whispered, "Maybe my parents saw this in me before I ever did." And this time, he believed it. When one door closes, another opens. But sometimes we're so focused on what's gone, we don't see the new door right in front of us, waiting for the courage to knock. But what if that closed door wasn't good or bad at all? Just part of the journey? Let me tell you a story, one that might change how you see fortune, misfortune, and everything in between. Long ago, in a peaceful little village nestled between misty mountains and golden rice fields, there lived a kind old farmer. Every morning he rose with the sun, feeding his gentle brown horse and tending to his crops with quiet joy. The villagers admired his calmness, always smiling as he walked past in his light blue shirt and tan pants, his straw hat slightly tilted under the warm morning sun. One day, a great commotion swept through the village. The farmer's horse had run away. It leapt over the fence and vanished into the hills. The neighbors rushed to offer their sympathy. "Oh no, how unlucky," they said. The old farmer just shrugged and replied with a soft smile, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Days later, the villagers heard a loud galloping echoing through the valley. To their amazement, the runaway horse had returned, bringing with it a group of wild horses. The villagers gasped and clapped. "What incredible luck!" they exclaimed. The old farmer, calm as ever, replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Among the wild horses was a spirited one that the farmer's son wanted to tame. He mounted the horse proudly, but the moment he tried to ride, the horse bucked wildly. The boy fell hard, twisting his leg badly. The villagers gathered again, shocked and worried. "How terrible," they said. The farmer nodded gently and replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Not long after, soldiers arrived in the village, demanding that all able young men be taken to war. Cries of fear and sorrow echoed in every home as sons and brothers were led away. But the farmer's son, unable to walk, was left behind. The neighbors sighed, "You're so lucky your son was injured." The farmer looked at the distant hills and said, "Maybe yes, maybe no." Seasons passed, the village slowly healed. The farmer and his son sat under the peach tree one evening, sipping tea. Fires glowed gently and laughter from nearby children drifted through the air. His son, now walking with a cane, smiled and said, "Life's funny, isn't it, father?" The farmer smiled. "Life is full of surprises. What seems bad may be good. What seems good may change. Good luck? Bad luck? Who knows?" The two returned to their work, sowing seeds, tending to the horses, and sharing quiet joy. Their hearts were full, not because life was always easy, but because they chose peace, no matter what it brought. And so the village came to understand the farmer's wisdom. They began to worry less and smile more. They stopped trying to label every moment as good or bad. They simply lived with open hearts and steady feet. Good luck? Bad luck? Who knows? Sometimes what seems like an obstacle is simply the beginning of something new. Let me know what you think. If this happened to you, how would you respond? Share your thoughts or your story in the comments below. Stay happy and don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe as we face these challenging times together.